Hi everyone, this is module number 54 for the subject of SHRM. In this module, we will talk about the Harvard framework. We will discuss the Harvard framework in two modules. That's why you can see here the part 1. The Harvard framework and the Michigan framework emerged out of an extensive research and observations and studies of organizations how to compete with the modern challenges of 21st century business. And as I said in the last module, that it emerged out of the necessity how to compete with Far East companies. Dominantly, it was the Japan, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. The industrialization in the Far East actually challenged the Western world and the American world. Particularly in the Western world, the German manufacturers were dominating the import and export business, and their products were considered as far better than the other countries. However, when Japanese they came up with a strategy and they invaded the Western world and the American market or North American market, they posed a serious threat to the Americans and the British how to develop products and how to compete with Far East organizations or organizations operating in that area. Out of this question, the researchers at Harvard Business School they came up with the idea which is known as the Harvard framework, or they came up with the school of thought which is also known as the Harvard framework. It was developed by Beer et al. When I say et al., I refer to Beer and some of his colleagues or some other authors along with the first author. So we mention the name of the first author if they are more than three. According to this framework, HRM policies, human resource management policies and practices, affect first the immediate organizational outcomes, and they have a longer term consequences for organizational outcomes. We will see that how it works. So policy choices made by managers affect following 4 C's. This is what Harvard framework suggests to the practitioners and academics. According to the Harvard framework, policy choices. Remember guys, in organizations, the human resource department or the strategic human resource management or the HR professionals, whenever they are making choices about managing people, they have to some degree or to some extent a choice between the two or many. So their policies they affect the competence of employees, whether to offer them the training, whether not to offer them the training, whether there should be a social interaction, the culture of organization towards the learning, or the culture of the organization towards the societal or social interaction. It depends and it will affect on the competence of the employees. So similarly, we can understand the commitment of employees. HR policies and policy choices, they affect the commitment of employees. I will talk about the commitment of employees later on in a more detail, but at the moment, we can talk about that this is someone commitment with the organization, either to stay longer term or to work hard for an organization. Congruence between goals of the employees and organization. HRM policies affect this variable. We call that congruence between the fit between the employee goals and the organization goals. And cost effectiveness of HRM practices. The HRM policies affect its own cost effectiveness. How cost effective is the HR department or the HR professionals in an organization? So, in the long run, striving to enhance a forces lead to favorable consequences for individual well being, societal well being, and organizational effectiveness. We will talk about this Harvard framework in a little bit more detail in the next module. Thank you.